Super Metroid speedruns recently as well, so just been practicing like crazy.
And we're off. Starting on the Zebus default starting location at the ship.
And we are off. Both players heading left and flailing their arms in the air wildly. That is, of course, part of the strat. And Taylor, are you okay? Okay, Andy is in Hyrule. We see an energy tank on the island. Apparently SuperNinTaylor didn't set his controls, it looks like. He may have to reset. Anyway, Andy is off to Hyrule Castle. We see some arrows on the tree pole. We see a piece of heart for Andy in the uncle's tunnel. And a lamp on the uncle himself. That is going to be quite a bit of a, it's a relief to those of us who aren't familiar with dark rooms. Both of these players, of course, very familiar with dark rooms. Alright, SuperNinTaylor looks to have his buttons set up just the way he likes it. Gonna get underway now.
Yeah, hopefully it doesn't let it affect him. It's a long randomizer. Couple of good checks and suddenly right back in it.
Alright, the little mishap there at the start, not phasing SuperNinTaylor one bit. He's gonna get this underway. See that energy tank as well. And he sees a blue mail in the Lost Woods. Gonna go ahead and pick that up. Certainly nothing wrong with that. If you see a safety item like that just sitting there, you're gonna take it. I don't care how good you are. And a half magic in the Lost Woods hideout.
A lot of convenience items early on. Lamp, half magic, blue mail. Nothing really to show much progression right away, though.
So SuperNinTaylor is foregoing the castle at the moment and is going to head up to check the Aghanim tree. He was doing a double tree pull because, of course, for some reason, the Super Metroid combo randomizer starts you in Hyrule with a tier 3 tree pull armed. Oh, we got a hook shot over in Blind's hut for Andy. And a energy tank in the back.
Yeah, we begin the clearance of Kakariko. Gonna see where decisions start to be made on where to go after this. The hook shot opens up a little bit of possibility, just some quick checks on South Shore and be able to clip through the blocks.
Looks like Andy's going for the 50-50 bomb here and gets it.
Yeah, save some rupees, be able to pay the merchant.
And now we can get all the bombs we want here in this shed. There are 4 under the corner pots.
Yeah, and got a bonus one from one of the rats, too.
I mean, I'm not going to say no. One thing about the combo randomizer is, of course, it was, of course, based on version 29 of the Link to the Past randomizer, which means you will see things like bomb and arrow upgrades in the pool, which, for those of us who've been playing the other randomizer, the plain Link to the Past randomizer, we've kind of been missing those.
Yeah, that and hints. Ooh, early wave beam, a little extra beam power, and maybe some nice gate.
Yep, wave beam making it so your gate access is a little easier. You don't have to do funky tricks to get through them. There's a silver arrows and super missiles as well in the well. I wasn't even trying for that one.
Andy, 5 rupees short from being able to buy from the bottle vendor.
Oh, right. Apparently, there was a glove in Link's house, and we'll see it again here when SuperNinTaylor heads back there. That will be pretty soon after the Kakariko check. With the glove, that actually gives you access to Death Mountain and like Business Center over in Super Metroid. There's 100 rupees in the back of the tavern. That'll be enough to purchase the bottle vendor's item. SuperNinTaylor will pick that up and be able to buy bombs and the bottle vendor's item. We get super missiles from the bottle vendor. Ooh, that was so quick I didn't actually see what it was. In the library there. More super missiles in the chicken hut.
Yeah, May's game is going to be just a piece of heart.
Bomb capacity, apparently. See, I'm so not used to seeing those, I didn't even recognize it.
All normal crystal light world.
Yep, looks like it. So every dungeon here in the light world will be completed. That's usually a good sign, because those dungeons are faster than some of the ones in the dark world. There's a plain missile at the dam, and Andy using the nice little hookshot trick to get through that block, allowing us to complete the dam check in one trip. Additional plain missiles there, and Andy's just not having any of it.
Yeah, really looking for that early morph ball to start opening up that Super Metroid quite a bit. I'm going to see what it takes to find that one. But the hookshot really nice for clearing out the Moldarm Cave here.
As is normally the case, we were looking for those 2 holy spheres, the Morph Ball or the Moon Pearl, both of those unlocking large chunks of 2 games. Though, of course, we'll need a little more before the Moon Pearl is actually
packing
relevant.
some heat with the bow.
All right, the bow inside of Mini Moldarm Cave. Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, Eastern Palace fully clearable now.
Yeah, even within logic, the lamp, the lamp is good there, and you can just do it.
Yeah, it won't be the journey for the bow this time. Really need some a fire source to start clearing out the rest of the dungeons, and also possibly boots for death.
And there's NinTaylor picking up that glove. Andy is going to check the Ice Rod Cave. Just a piece of heart in the Ice Rod Cave. And Andy will be piecing out, and I'm feeling like this is an Eastern play. What do you think?
Oh, absolutely. You get Sasrella's closet in there while you're there. 3 bonus checks.
Yeah, the lamp was with the uncle. Andy has it. SuperNinTaylor does not yet. But of course, we don't. On the tracker for this, we don't show the lamp because there are more important things to show.
Yeah, also, many of the lamp locations are accessible with enough practice without using the lamp itself. So, after finding the bone here, I wouldn't doubt to see SuperNinTaylor go right for the Eastern Palace play as well. Would be able to fully clear it with the amount of experience.
Oh, there's the morph ball in the back of Sahasrah's closet on the right-hand side, so that unlocks a good chunk of Super Metroid.
Yeah, I already got some power bombs, so gonna be able to clear 70% of that game almost right off the bat, it feels like sometimes.
I was gonna say, wait, where were the power bombs? And then NinTaylor picked them up. So there we go.
Yeah, only 5 power bombs as far as I've been keeping track so far, which isn't a great count. Easy to run out in bad places.
Yeah. It does give you the opportunity to, like, go look at the gauntlet item, but you can't really get out with it.
Yeah, not with just 5.
And then if you've got 10, you might as well go all the way through.
Oh, NinTaylor taking that crab troll right there. Oof.
Yeah. I feel like if I were NinTaylor, I would just leave Ice Rod Cave and hope it's nothing. And in this case, it would be advantageous. Alright, so NinTaylor does his map check. And I imagine this is also an Eastern play now. NinTaylor's going to have to do this in the dark.
There's only really 2 rooms to worry about. Red mail already, early in Zelda. Pretty much no health worries almost at this point. And with the hookshot also, being able to hookshot over that chest just saves a few extra seconds, but it's really convenient. Question in chat, where was the lamp? The lamp was in the uncle item. SuperNinTaylor has not checked that yet.
Alright, there's the big key for Andy.
Has he found any dungeon items yet? Or he found the compass,
I'm not sure. It was the compass on the right-hand side? Okay.
No, it was on the first chest, I believe. So I think that's the...
Okay, well, there's the map, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
We're going all the way to the big key chest.
Yeah, I was gonna see if that was an item, if the gamble would have been worth it. See if Armos drops it or not.
Alright, Andy picks up the key. A little hookshot action there. Another 4 bomb drop. This seed kind of keeping them well stocked in the bombs department.
Yeah, dry a little early, but just tons of drops now. No real weapons outside the bow yet, though.
And there's 10 arrows for Andy, so, I mean, well, sometimes you need arrows. Specifically when we're about to head to the back here with these Igors that you gotta kill. Now, Andy will be able to, just kind of waltz through the back because he'll be able to see. SuperNinTaylor might have a little trouble here in the back. It's not the easiest dark room.
No, but the full set of arrows, probably just going to spam it at, where kind of you expect the mob to be, and hope for the best and clear out some of the early enemies with the hook.
And Taylor making use of that hook shot to get around the Stolfo spawn room a little quicker. Andy using the hook shot to take down the Popos in that formation there, which is not something I ever thought about, but it certainly seems to be the play.
Yeah, better than the bow, really. Those bow shots can take a couple extra seconds.
And missiles on Armos, that does it for Eastern Palace for Andy. 1 crystal down, and 6 to go. We've got one of the 11 objectives that we have to do before we can waste some bosses.
Here goes SuperNinTaylor through the dark rooms. See how well it gets through the first one here. Shouldn't be too much trouble. This one's pretty straightforward.
Yeah, the first dark room in Eastern is a room that most players can do, actually. And in fact, I've seen a lot of people who are like, I can't do dark rooms, and then they just try that one and get it first try, because it's not particularly difficult. The back one can be actually nightmarish. All right, back of escape for Andy. We've got big 5 rupees, a space jump, and a Varia suit. Excuse me?
Oh man, is this the golden seed? Because it's starting to feel like it.
Incoming sub 1.
A lot of items. I mean, Link to the Past is still going to take a ton of items to clear, but that is insane. A lot of movement tech already in Super Metroid. Super Metroid basically wide open at this point. And, Link to the Past still, looking for that Moon Pearl, but once we get that and Dark World access, it's gonna just be blown wide open as well with the bow and the hookshot already.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, Andy is going to go check the lumberjack tree now, which I believe we saw was just 50 rupees earlier.
Yes. Yeah, this is just a 50 rupee drop there, so probably no Aga unless he's our Dark World, which I don't think is actually possible now, so, well,
Hammer,
no, it's still possible.
Hammer is a possibility, but it's, like, super unlikely.
Yeah, either Hammer or Moon Pearl being off of Pyramid, but that'd be really, really trolly.
And we'd still have to find, 2 swords or a cape and a sword. Andy now heading through the old man cave. Gonna rescue the old man, and then we'll get to see what's on Death Mountain. The hookshot, of course, giving us access to Paradox Cave as well.
Yeah, the vanilla access to Death Mountain. Not seen too often, typically.
Super missiles from the old man. Certainly not going to say no to that. All right, SuperNinTaylor is taking his ball and going to Zebus. Looks like.
It looks like the items went to File A, where he has the bad controls. Oh, you should be able to set it there, though. He's gonna have to remember about his controls. Looks like some powered arms up on the rock, and missiles in the back of the cave here, so gonna be avoiding that.
All right, SuperNinTaylor looked like he was about to attempt to go to the gauntlet, decided otherwise, and is instead heading down to Bomb Torizo. Now, of course, we will not be fighting the Bomb Torizo today, because we don't have the bombs. Just a shield. Alright, big 20 and 300 rupees in the bottom of Paradox Cave, or the top of Paradox Cave, or however you like to call it.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much purchase Zora now, so that's not too tempting, given that it's just the one check right now until we get some flippers.
He's short by 2 rupees, but he'll get there.
Yeah, well, there's one in the room, so.
Alright, super missiles at Old Mother Brain and a Moon Pearl on the right-hand side of Paradox Cave.
There's our orb.
Orb?
Orb. Yep, looking
it's
for that.
It's leaking from Super Mario World.
Yeah. Merle? Guess it is a Merle. So looking for that hammer now really is going to be, or another gauntlet upgrade to get that full Dark World deck.
Morb? I'm just kidding. Alright, SuperNinTaylor checking the first missiles.
Yeah, just some 20 rupees there. Yeah, SuperNinTaylor not going for the Death Mountain, the Death Mountain play without that lamp, not thinking that it'd be in logic yet.
Yep.
But also with
Nice, nice damage boost for that heart container there.
oh yeah,
All right, looks like SuperNinTaylor is headed for Billy Mays.
probably the best room name in the game.
Yeah, when I heard why it was called that, I was just like, okay, somebody won.
Yeah, I've talked to some people about who haven't even played Super Metroid and called a Billy Mays room, and they're like, "What? Because there's not one but two things there." And I'm like, "Yup," and they're like, "Oh, it's just that simple." So here we go with Andy's first dip.
All right, so we see a energy tank and 50 rupees over in the high jump area. At the actual high jump location, we've got 20 rupees, so not a whole lot. I think Andy will probably pick up this energy tank.
Yeah, early Super Metroid, you want a few E-tanks just to have some backup health. I mean, even with the Varia.
And so SuperNinTaylor picking up the plasma beam with his last power bomb.
So what do we charge and a X-ray away from being able to microwave some bosses?
Yeah, that is something you like to pick up early, because most of the time when I pick up charge and X-ray and plasma, I've already beaten Dragon and Fantoon and all those Botwoon and all that mess.
Oh yeah.
And then of course it doesn't work on Ridley. Vanilla Ice Beam!
Wow!
Stop, collaborate, and listen, everybody. Vanilla Ice Beam.
Just looking for that charge beam now, and then basically Amba becomes kind of a not a huge point of contention.
All right, so SuperNinTaylor, I imagine at this point, will be heading back to the ship to get some more power bombs.
Yeah, about to go do Green Bryn, probably. Andy going up, probably gonna just knock out Kraid. Got the power bombs, got everything needed to just pick up the items there.
Seems entirely legit. I mean, I don't think sub 1 hour's really ever going to happen in SMZ3, but
yeah,
it could be pretty close.
Yeah, there's one big thing to remember with the early item density. The problem there is the fact that it opens up a ton of places for things to be. So it's really just luck based. I look like an arrow capacity upgrade in the Terminator room there by SuperNinTaylor.
All right. Also, SuperNinTaylor gonna check the back of the gauntlet. What do we have? Was that blue cane and X-ray?
Yeah, 2 optional items. I don't think we're gonna be seeing Gauntlet. At least not
there's
soon.
There's still the possibility for that one item, but you never know. All right, and Andy starting the Kraid fight, doing the getting the morph ball set up for the quick kill. Hope. Looks like a little bit off on that. But it's not that big a deal to miss the quick kill. I've personally never gotten it, so I don't know what I'm talking about.
Ooh, SuperNinTaylor's gonna have to be careful here, just using power bombs to be able to escape that.
Yeah. If he runs low on power bombs trying to do the mock ball trick here, you can always head to the lower left-hand corner outside, and there's some enemies in there that are very likely to drop power bombs.
Always forget about those bats there.
So missiles, 10 arrows, and a big 20 in the back of early supers. And above us, we've got Spacer, which I imagine SuperNinTaylor will probably switch back out for the plasma beam as soon as possible. Ooh, more super missiles for Andy in the frog room. And speaking of frogs, SuperNinTaylor refilling his power bombs there. And Bugnet just before Edicoons, and Ether down here, so we'll definitely want to come back from Edicoons without resetting.
Yeah, Ether is a hit or miss there, so we'll see when we get our look at Meyer and Turtle Rock if they're even crystal dungeons, and if they are, which medallion we're going to be needing.
Oh, we got Grapple Beam for Andy from the Spacer location. Now with the there's only one thing that the Grapple Beam would unlock, I think, that he didn't already have access to.
Yeah, that'd be Shaq Tool. Oh,
yeah.
For current,
I mean, we need Gravity Suit or something just to get over there, but yeah.
True.
So he does have Ice Beam. He could have High Jump, and then he could do Suitless Meridia.
Yeah, not required by logic for this randomizer, but Andy is no stranger to that. It'll be a while before committing to something like that, though.
I imagine so. All right, SuperNinTaylor going to step in here, grab another power bomb real quick, as he'll be heading over to Big Pink.
And decided to go for that bottle early enough, check the save.
All right, blue potion at the X-ray location. So that is the first bottle we found. Of course, unlocking that Sick Kid location, as you said.
Yeah, Brinstar really just not full of a lot of progression today, looks like, for SuperNinTaylor. Outside of the Ether, nothing really major.
Alright, so SuperNinTaylor heading to Mission Impossible room, and we get 10, plus 10 bomb capacity, which, I'm going to pick that up if I see it, and if it's right next to me, like. I'm not going to say no to 10 bombs.
Andy doing the red tower climb, probably going to knock out
10 bombs.
10 more bombs. But Andy probably going to knock out the wreck ship while up here, has the space jump and grapple, so definitely all in logic.
Alright, Alpha Power Bombs is Alpha Power Bombs. And a piece of heart in the back. So now, SuperNinTaylor actually, or not SuperNinTaylor, Andy actually does have 10 power bombs, which puts the gauntlet in logic. Spore Spawn, just missiles.
Be interested to see if he ends up putting that in logic. I mean, really might just be able to just complete a full loop after wreck ship, come back, knock out everything criteria, and be interested to see if he goes for Brinstar. Zelda is still pretty heavily locked out.
And we've got an additional bottle there at the beta power bombs. Looks like SuperNinTaylor is farming some health and bombs. Power bombs are not particularly common off of these enemies. It is possible to get power bomb drops, but it's like something like 4% or 8%.
It's single-digit percentages.
personally, I would probably just go all the way back to the lightning bug room.
Needs 2 power bombs to get there.
Oh, you're right. You gotta have one just to get out the door. And that's probably where he's headed now. I forgot about that. Alright, so we've got the wave gate here for SuperNinTaylor. Andy heading to the gauntlet, as it's now in logic. Or, no, he was over to the... He was at Criteria Power Bombs. Now he's gonna head to the gauntlet, it looks like.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Take the quick refill, maybe save. That way can reset if gauntlet ends up being nothing. We'll be
I got
interested
confused.
We'll be interested to see if he checks the back of gauntlet, if he decides to keep the X-ray beam and cane or not.
So we're being told that the drop rate on those power bombs is 0% when you have none and 75% if you already have 30 or more. I'm clear. It's clear that that's a joke, but it's hilarious.
There's our ice rod right there.
Oh, ice rod at pipe missiles. And Andy sees a big 20 at the gauntlet item, so unless like Spike Cave is required for something, I don't expect SuperNinTaylor to end up picking up the Cane of Burna.
Even then, there's other ways to do it, just bring a health potion or anything like that, so...
Andy gets himself on the right set of pixels. Ooh, some back and forth strats there to...
Takes the cane, leaves the X-ray.
Yep, that does seem like a reasonable play. I know that personally one of my major issues is I end up like accidentally selecting the X-ray.
Yeah, as rarely as you need it. Yeah, with the quick item swaps, it's pretty difficult, and Andy's going to begin his journey through Brinstock. Probably come back up through Retro. The only thing of value, really, Andy's going to find down here by the Edikins is the Ether medallion.
Yeah, so Andy gonna basically do the same checks that SuperNinTaylor did with a little more insurance in terms of the power bombs situation.
Yeah, I mean, the really only things that Andy has that puts him in the lead right now are things he got from East Death Mountain, which SuperNinTaylor is about to get to. That ice rod being that early, I don't know. I'm getting that feeling that Turtle Rock's going to end up being a pendant. We're not going to see that baby in action, but...
Who knows? That being said, there was also the back of Escape that Andy got, which was a big deal with the Varia suit and the
Space jump.
Space jump, yeah. So SuperNinTaylor picks up the grapple beam. Does grant him some logical access over to wrecked ship. As well as a good chunk of things over at like Crocomire, I think.
That is true. Crocomire is now open. Did we? I don't believe we got the back of or the escape from there checked yet.
Crocomire escape. Oh yeah, so the one you can see from the business center. Yeah, I don't think I've seen it. No. And SuperNinTaylor will be heading to face off against Kraid.
See if we can get our quick ill in today.
Looks a little far to the right. Okay, there we go. That's a negative there, but it looks like we did get 2 hits in. So now it does take a little bit more. You're still going to need 2 more supers to take it down, or one super and 1 missile. Crate, of course, has 1,000 total health. You need 100 per missile and 300 per super. And he's setting up for Spore Spawn Skip, getting it on the first try. A couple of different pixels you can use to get that set up.
Yeah, pixels, or some people just do the running forward and shoot. A few different ways of setting it up.
Yeah, the pixel setup is part of the reason that the moonwalk has come into favor. The other reason being the moonfall itself.
And you look like remembering he's got wave beam, doesn't need to set up for missile
wave gate skip. Yeah.
Yeah.
And SuperNinTaylor will now be heading down to Ye Olde Business Center. With the energy tanks he has, he could pretty conceivably do a hell run over to the ice beam, which will get him the ice beam.
Yeah, it would have to be basically a perfect run, but I think there's an extra E-tank up here, so a little bit of safety build.
I know that the harder version of the logic, I think, requires 3 E-tanks for that hell run.
Yep. And I believe 4 for the other one.
I think it's 5.
Or is it 5?
High jump boots on the Crocomire escape.
That's a really nice convenience item. The movement in Super Metroid feels so odd without. Looks like Saving probably going to try to do the hell run here.
Yeah, so Back of Escape had Space Jump and Varia. It's kind of the most ridiculous position I've ever seen. Andy farming up power bombs at the X-ray location. We note that he actually has already gotten the item at X-ray. That was a bottle. Headed that way after pipe missiles. I imagine so he could get out through Retro and not have any problems checking all the items.
Yeah, gonna need about 3 power bombs, but actually probably 5 if you want to check everything.
Yeah, you can also go check the shaft supers.
Sometimes good to check them just to I like doing those checks, scratch that item off the list in my head, so I don't have to worry about it later.
All right, SuperNinTaylor makes it to the ice beam. We'll see if he can get out of here in one piece. I was going to say, Andy, are you going to leave behind the plasma beam? Okay, there we go.
Ooh.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Oh, so close. The next room was not heated, I don't think, so he would have been fine.
Yeah, it was not. That would have been, yeah.
All right, well, at least he knows where the ice beam is.
Yeah, I mean, you could pick that up at any time.
Yeah, the ice beam is not a strictly required item. It's just super useful and helps out for, Zeb Skip and all these other beautiful things.
Yeah, I mean... Unfortunate death, but I mean, it's a little bit of a time loss, but I wouldn't say it's not like losing after picking up 4 items after 30 minutes and not saving. Pretty easy to get to, in and out of.
Alright, so Andy picking up the energy tank and leaving behind the missiles at Billy Mays. as SuperNinTaylor heads into Zelda to check Death Mountain. We know he will pick up a Moon Pearl here on Death Mountain. It does look like he's going to go rescue the old man first.
Yeah, get that save point. Using the hook shot to kind of, get a check on your position while in the dark.
All these dark rooms are making me want to cry uncle.
Oh, I see what you did there.
All right, Andy has 3 power bombs.
Could check it, but that would use all 3 power bombs.
Right, and instead he could check final missiles and, bomb Chorizo, though I imagine he knows how to Alcatraz. More super missiles for SuperNinTaylor.
It's pretty low HP run across the board to start with.
All right, big 20 at final missiles. I imagine after the check on, or after returning to the ship, Andy will probably head over to wrecked ship.
Yeah, really only one item unable to get at this point, which is the reserve.
Yeah, and that is at least something you can check and know whether you need to come back for it. Oh yeah, no problem with that Alcatraz jump.
Yeah, and the missiles in the sky are really easy with that space jump too, so... There's that Moon Pearl.
Alright, so SuperNinTaylor picks up the Moon Pearl. We still don't actually have access to the Dark World on account of no hammer or second lift.
Yeah, nice bomb jump.
Very nicely done. Normally I like to have a sword to line that up. So well played on SuperNinTaylor's part. And the wrecked ship play does look like looks like it's about to happen. Did you see what was on the floating island? I just missed it.
It was a piece of heart. So vanilla location there.
Alright, thank you very much.
Here we go, the Fantoon about to...
Ooh,
nice item check.
The middle missiles, we've got a heart container. And missiles in the lower left corner. So now Andy will be space jumping his way over to the Fantoon, or to the wrecked ship entrance. There's one item you can check before beating Fantoon, and then the rest of them you gotta off the ghost.
And it is preferred to check that item before Fantoon, and it looks like SuperNinTaylor are going to pick up that Varia and Space Jump now, so going to be pretty close behind Andy.
I don't know, I'd probably be a little salty after picking these up after all those checks in Super Metroid, but yeah. It's not like those things would unlock anything particularly.
I mean, really, just would have made the ice beam a little bit cleaner, but really can get right back to it from the Death Mountain entrance, which is nice, picking up the mountain caves. But look like opting to do escape instead, possibly starting back at home.
Yeah, that would be good. He's going to get the lamp from doing that. And then, of course, who knows what's in the actual escape section. We are still missing the small key and the map, so there's really only 2 items left in Escape, but who knows. And here is our friend Fantoon, though personally I'm pretty sure that it's more canonical to kill Argus first so his ghost shows up here, but I mean, what are you gonna do? Sometimes you just gotta do things out of order. That's why it's a randomizer. Don't pay any attention to me.
So getting some nice Dopplers in. Probably 3 cycle, it looks like.
Yeah, it looks like it. Like a couple of hits and then probably a super would do it.
Yeah, the worst thing you can do is super too early.
That is true. Though I did find out that if you've got the screw attack and the space jump, the enrage phases are pretty easy to survive. You just kind of screw attack the whole time.
Oh, did not get that phase complete. Looks like super should do it. But...
Oh yeah, super will definitely kill this time.
Let's see if SuperNinTaylor gets something in the escape sequence here, or sorry, doing the Zelda prison location. Find something here. Andy has not checked this yet, and could make a pretty big difference because it's not a common location to check unless usually you have mirror to do escape as well if you're going to do the dark cross room.
Yeah. Well, we will see what we find here. There's the map. So the dark cross room has something. We've already found the small key. So Zelda's cell and the dark cross room are the 2 items remaining. There's the magic cape.
You know, we haven't even touched Dark World yet.
Alright, so SuperNinTaylor is taking some damage from the ball and chain guard here to set up a death warp. The red mail is making the death warp particularly annoying to do. He's using a silver arrow after he's gotten himself to a half a heart and sword!
So, Aga could be our Dark World access now.
Yeah, between those 2 items, the magic cape and the sword, that is a real possibility.
Oh, wow.
Looks like Andy is going to go for the spiky room of spiky death here.
Oh, man. Who wants that Agassi? Let me know in chat. It's going to be great. That is an interesting find.
And we've got Andy heading for the wrecked ship energy tank situation here. And just a missile, gonna reset after taking that save.
Yeah,
I don't think that item was... Yeah, power bombs.
So SuperNinTaylor about to start clearing out some Norfair probably. Get that Ice Beam and maybe clear out Norfair. I mean, so Norfair could still have progression. If we find a hammer, then Aga's dead.
It is very true. Alright, so it looks like SuperNinTaylor's not going to go for the Ice Beam just yet. Instead, opting to head over to Bubble Mountain.
Yeah, I mean, getting that Ice Beam makes it kind of annoying to kill enemies because you're going to be freezing them before killing them. May opt to leave that to like near the very end, if not the very end. If picking up at all.
Andy, meanwhile, checking out the attic item. 5 rupees in the cathedral item spot.
Some money in the lava.
5 arrow upgrade at the attic, so Andy's out.
And this is the worry when you find that early seed that has a ton of items, is you get that long list of striking. So we'll see where we end up finding kind of our next little nudge in progression.
All right, and SuperNinTaylor heading to the Norfair Reserve area. We've got Blue Boomerang, and then into the back where there's 2 more items. I mean, this is like Billy Mays Part 2.
Oh yeah, definitely. Ooh, blue potion. Not
I
a
mean,
bad find.
maybe it's like the ShamWow guy, whose name I do not recall.
So missiles in the sky here with Andy. Let's see what we got.
Spring Ball!
Everyone's favorite mobility item.
I mean, he just used it right there.
Oh yeah.
What are you going to do? That being said, it does kind of get that Shaq tool in your head again.
Doing a little bowling. And SuperNinTaylor got off for that heart container. It's not too far off. A little extra Zelda health, even with the red mail, goes a long way. Ganon still hurts.
All right, Andy gonna head over and check the power bomb, or the statue here. It shows a statue. Super missiles. He decided he's had enough of that.
Yeah, you got 30 in the bank right now, and just finds the charge, won't need it at all. There's our dark robot. Oh, the Aga. There goes Aga. Sorry, y'all.
Yep, Titan's bits found at Gravity Suit. What are you gonna do about it?
I think Andy's heading right for that dark Kakariko now after that one.
That seems entirely legit. Now, personally, I'm picking up super missiles until I find charge. Period. Just because I'm bad.
You and me both.
Yeah. Theoretically, the hammer could still be, like, on the Pyramid Fairy.
No, you need the hammer to get the bomb there.
Not if you beat Aga. Because then you mirror with the bomb.
On the Pyramid Ledge. Yeah.
No, I mean the Pyramid Fairy.
Ooh, true. Oh, I see what you mean, yes. That would be some interesting routing. Let's see if we get our first look at Dark World here and get a list of these crystals and pendants. Or Andy going to be doing East Death Mountain first with the hookshot, knock out that hookshot cave, get a check on Turtle Rock.
Seems legit. SuperNinTaylor, of course, picking up those high jump boots, and then it looks like we'll be heading for Crocomire. I'm told you should always bet on Croc. That's what people tell me.
It's like Red Crystal, Turtle Rock, and Skull Woods got a pendant in Swamp Thieves and Pod. And you're getting a nice clip with the hook shot. SuperNinTaylor pushes that Crocomire back towards his doom. And just some missiles and bombs in the Super Bunny Cave. Power bombs behind Croc here. Did not get a look at what that pendant was, or that medallion.
Looks like ether, we're being told, which is, of course, what we picked up over at the Edikun's location.
All three pendants there are going to be the Pod, Thieves Town, and Swamp.
Ugh. I'm not a huge fan of that pendant layout. I mean,
No,
Swamp,
yeah.
Swamp is fine. Get rid of that, but
Pod's got a lot of items in it. I mean, so does Swamp, so really could be.
And Thieves Town is just so convenient. You just kind of want to do it.
Yeah, so we might get some dips.
+5 arrows at the grapple beam location for SuperNinTaylor.
So Krogmire basically a strikeout.
Looks like it.
Andy with the Skullwoods play without Fire Rod.
I've seen the fire rod in here so many times, it kind of makes me want to vomit.
2 early keys, hoping to find at least one of the items early. Given our vanilla seed here, it feels like maybe... Oh, flippers! We can go for a swim.
We can go... Yeah, once we get a... I was going to say...
That's
we can go for a
World
swamp,
access.
But no, we need a mirror.
Yeah, that's full Dark World access, because can jump the ledge and swim up now.
Yep.
And that's really what we were looking for.
And with that, I mean, we've still got the possibility of Hammer at Pyramid Ferry for logical hammer access or AGA, but there's a with the equipment that Andy has now, there is a trick to get around it. SuperNinTaylor over here doing the lava dive. And nails it. Getting that lower Norfair access, potentially some access to the Misery Mire area as well. So that is some interesting play right there for SuperNinTaylor. Electing not to save.
Yeah, out of logic, but again, you find a couple items and suddenly you can speed through a couple areas where the other runner may not have had the chance to. And with Space Jump, actually, yeah, Golden Chorizo front side in logic.
Yeah, minus the fact that this area in general is not in logic.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, assuming an early gravity or a decent gravity area. This is our first foray into the Dark World.
Oh yeah, we can't have Pyramid Fairy Hammer. I'm a dumb. Because one of the red crystals is requires the hammer. Mushroom here at Gold Chorizo's front item.
SuperNinTaylor gonna set up right in front of Golteriza here, and just fire those super missiles right up into the chest.
Yeah, he might be a little short.
Yeah, I think about 3 or 4 short. Often use missiles to farm here. I'm surprised not just using plasma. It has grapple too, could easily farm.
There he goes.
Oh, I see. Dumping the missiles so he gets stuck in the lock of shooting out ammo refill.
Seems legit.
Probably be able to finish off with the 5 supers here. What I'm gonna do is get the Thieves Town clear by Andy. Gonna take the Death Warp.
Yep. Looks like he's had enough of Thieves Town for now.
Yeah, without the hammer, can't check the big chest at the bottom, and no sword yet or hammer to really be able to deal with blind in a.
Is that Gravity Suit?
Who? That means that Meyer is our access to Lower Norfair. Oh,
absolutely. Wow. We're gonna be able to. That means we're gonna have to find the flute in Logic to get over here. So that's a big breakthrough for SuperNinTaylor.
Yeah, I mean, that's a big logic break, but also, like you said, just a breakthrough in general.
We also have Ether as well on Misery Meyer, so Ether is our key medallion today.
Yeah, Super Metroid's done now. It's fully clearable. We just need whatever we need for Zelda now. So looking at that, I mean, we're looking at, a Fire Rod, a Red Cane, Hammer, and, Master Sword.
Yeah, and either mirror or book.
True. That desert entrance always gets me. So really, we're about, 4 items away from go? 4 to 5. And potentially boots. Man, desert always trolls me. See if our buddy on the tree here gives us any presents. Just some bomb. Gonna get our first look at Hype Cave. Let's see what rating of hype this is today out of 10. What are you thinking?
I mean, we're still short on items, so I'm expecting something like Fire Rod in here. I don't know what that would make the number.
I'd give that at least
numerologist.
5.
We got a big 20. Heart container, shovel, 10 arrows, and big 20. So I guess it's like delayed Hype Cave.
It's like a 2 out of 10 until we figure out what that shovel is.
I mean, it's like a 0 out of 10 until we figure out what the shovel is.
That is true. Unless that one heart keeps you alive.
Yeah, true. We were still a little low on hearts. Looks like SuperNinTaylor did pick up the big key of Meyer. Oh! I mean, that's about as hype as it gets, am I right?
Yeah, you got the validation arrow there. Oh boy. That Meyer clear looking like nothing too hype.
Not just yet. SuperNinTaylor is leaving behind the vanilla big key location for now, while Andy is going to go ahead and check the smith. There's the cane! Cane of Samaria on the blacksmiths. Without a mirror as well, which is, you know, not fun. You don't like to have to check blacksmiths without mirror.
But Andy looking like probably going to do the hobo, you know, Zora. Possibly, nope, does not have access to ice yet. My apologies.
Yeah, need that fire rod or the Bombos medallion. So yeah, unfortunately, SuperNinTaylor will not be able to finish out Misery Mire while he's here, because we know where the cane is.
We'll be able to finish out in Lower Norfair, though.
There is that. Charge beam!
That's actually
Whoa.
a nice find.
And that actually puts Ridley in logic. So there you go.
Yeah, so it looks like Flute was our access to kill Ridley. 100%.
Yep, so let's see what Andy finds here. A sword. That's his first sword.
So we got two
And
sword
some
locations.
missiles.
And those two sword locations are pretty far apart.
Very true. The other one being in Zelda's cell, which is not
There's
really
our
on
desert.
his mind. SuperNinTaylor finds the book in Misery Mire.
It does a death warp to get out, actually. Not a bad decision. Gonna go right for that Lower Norfair. I mean, SuperNinTaylor's out of logic, but, you know, once that we find out where that flute is, basically just right back in logic.
Yeah, so two items in Mire, both of them fairly valuable with the book and the thing, the charge beam. Words.
Charge beam, yeah.
I forgot how to words. I was gonna say, Andy, what are you doing? And then I realized he's doing the hula hand room.
Yeah, I gotta get some of that money to pay for some of the Dark World games. Or pay the monkey.
Yep, depending on where he's headed.
I believe he's done with the Dark World games, actually, except for the monkey, so... Maybe the bomb, maybe thinking just in case for bomb too. For Pyramid Fairy.
Yeah, there is that possibility. We'll need to get that hammer, of course, first, but who knows? Yeah, having just the mitts for Dark World access is quite a pain, especially if you don't have the flute.
Absolutely, that's just, you know, you really only have one entrance into the base world Dark World now. Especially if you're looking to go somewhere like Pod or Catfish.
Alright, so SuperNinTaylor making his way through this lava room on the way en route to the worst room in the game. This is pretty damaging, and of course,
Can kill the Terizos though, which is nice. Or
yeah, the
kill
plasma
pirates, I think.
beam is nice.
So Andy with the sword opting to finish Thieves Town. hoping to find some kind of progress in here, probably the hammer. Not going to be able to, without the hammer, not going to be able to fully clear it, though.
I would be... I wouldn't be surprised if it was the flute, actually.
Hmm.
And that the hammer's, like, behind Ridley. Which would be dumb.
Yeah, space jump making the climb here really easy.
Oops, a little bit of a slip there for SuperNinTaylor, but not a big deal. Oof.
Yeah, I think we got a mirror on Thieves Town.
Ooh, mirror in Thieves Town, interesting. That unlocks the greatest troll the game has ever provided, which is Hammer and Swamp.
That would be pretty awful.
Alright, so SuperNinTaylor has gone ahead and checked the lightning bug cave here before heading to Ridley. You know, just to see if you can improve your situation. I imagine we'll be saving on the way to Ridley. I would not want to do that worst room in the game and stuff again.
Well, absolutely, and there's no safe one here, so he would end up spawning at the ship if he was to take the death.
Oh yeah, he's definitely taking the save.
Yeah, I mean, pretty easy farm right before Ridley, too.
Alright, so Andy proceeding with the blind fight.
So blind, typically random, but if you do it the same way every single time on the first one, you'll get the same fight.
Yep, basically the fight is deterministic with the movements that you make, and Andy finds the blue pendant and nothing else. So it looks like there may have been an item in the big chest, though I don't know for sure. I haven't really been counting.
Yeah, all we're missing is the map, so that would be the big thing.
Oh, okay, so no map. Okay, good.
I don't know if we had the map or not. I think we did get the map early, so. But with the mirror, going to be able to check the graveyard ledge. You know, check the caves.
And Taylor
Awesome.
picking up additional super missiles at the Power Bombs of Shame location and heading to the Metal Pirates room. Using charge shots to defeat the pirates this time. Graveyard ledge, just bombs. And SuperNinTaylor entering the final room before Ridley. I imagine we'll be farming up some health. Maybe a few super missiles, though he might actually be full.
Yeah, 35 super should be plenty. Also has to charge plasma, so not a bad back.
Yeah, 30 super missiles will take down Ridley, and you can also use charge beam in a pinch.
And just being extra safe here with the HP. Doesn't want to take an unnecessary death. Should feel pretty comfortable with that. And the catfish check.
Yeah, with the gravity suit, you'll be taking significantly less damage than with other suits, so this will be a reasonable fight.
Just a heart container. And he's probably going to go loop in the pyramid and doesn't want to take the reset and have to re-go to Dark World, etc., since it doesn't have the hammer.
This'll do it for SuperNinTaylor. Well played on the Ridley fight. Just supers behind Ridley, but I certainly wouldn't turn them down.
So pyramid check. See what we have hidden here.
Hammer time!
So, Iga was the hammer, sort of, but still not needed.
We got our hammer time, we got our vanilla ice. Is this the 90s? I don't know.
Pod fully clearable, Andy deciding, you know what, let's just knock this thing right out.
Pod, of course, still a pendant, but it is the green pendant and it is quite a few items. So I don't fault anybody for heading that direction.
Now, the only time really Pod feels bad is if you can't full clear it and you have to go in. Saw this question track. Just quick reminder: the second pair of mitts was after Vanilla Gravity location after bowling. I do not think SuperNinTaylor is going to do any AGA without full clearing Super Metroid, basically, at this point.
Yeah, basically. The only problem is he's going to be down a hammer. And in order to get the logical access to Dragon, he's gonna need the flippers from Skull Woods.
Yeah, but with Dragon, being able to just do the lava dive and Skull Woods Swamp being a pendant. Not really needed, possibly. Well, actually, outside of ice, so still gonna need the flippers at some.
And you can actually fake flipper to the Meridia portal if you really want to.
True. Or even the ice.
Of course, he could go get that ice beam that he left over at the vanilla ice beam location and do the clip to get through Bot Wound area. Yeah, we definitely need the fire rod, and that is something that's not locked behind any of our pendant dungeons.
No, but it is locked behind still trying to figure out how he'd get into desert logically. Because the mirror, we're going to need the flute in order to utilize. And the book was in Misery Mire, which, again, either you'd have to lava dive out of logic or flute over. So we got to find that flute to put that pedestal back in logic.
Yeah, I would not be surprised to see the flute coming up here soon. Actually, I mean, I don't think any of the pedestal dungeon requires any of the sequence breaks we've had. Because the hammer's on the pyramid, right? And
Very true.
yeah, so yeah,
There's
speed
speed-
booster. Yeah, speed booster and pod for Andy.
One pair of boots found so far.
I mean, we found the high jump boost. Does those count? It looked like SuperNinTaylor was going to go for the ice beam and then decided against it. But it also looks like he's going to Meridia, so I don't really understand. There's a... Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's another sword, so we found 3 out of 4 swords. Andy taking the mirror. I believe we have not found the big key yet, so could be vanilla big key, I believe. Oh, nope.
I just missed what that other item there was in Main Street, but I don't think SuperNinTaylor cared.
Sorry, big key chest is actually a it's going to be a map or a compass because there's only 2 items. 2 items left and hasn't found either.
Alright, missiles at Mama Turtle, and the wall item is 20 rupees.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, the longer it takes Andy to find the flute, the more and more out of logic SuperNinTaylor is.
I mean, at this point, it's feeling like it might be Swamp. Though it could be like the first chest in Turtle Rock right now.
Can't get in Turtle Rock without the hammer, or no, you got the hammer. Never mind. You are correct.
Yeah, because Andy got the hammer, so more of that, please.
Oh man, first test of Turtle Rock being a troll would be just incredible.
A mirror in Thieves Town, I think in the attic, you said.
Yeah, there's the attic of Thieves Town for the mirror. Hammer was on the pyramid.
SuperNinTaylor going to the watering hole. We'll probably see a backdoor wrecked ship after this. What do you think?
Makes sense. I mean, if you're just going to try to essentially just check everything in Super Metroid since you have the access, might as well. Also has access to Shack Tool, but I don't know if we'll see that.
I'm certainly not saying no to an additional energy tank there for SuperNinTaylor. And a good old map from Helmasaur as Andy picks up the green pendant. We should be able to check the item from Sahasrara basically directly after this.
Yeah, pretty efficient, and then you know, with everything else on the list, gonna see if we just get a immediate check of the pedestal with Swamp being fully clearable.
Interestingly enough, SuperNinTaylor not electing to save just yet. We're getting a snail clip from SuperNinTaylor. Just perfectly timed. A single rupee and 5 rupees, so Aqueduct items not particularly useful today, and a heart container from Sahasrara.
Andy probably deciding whether or not he wants to do the Hera clear. Really can't decide which one, but gonna be heading to Swamp likely. So yeah, we had Speed Boost and Pod, only item. Be interesting to see if that pays out or not.
Alright, SuperNinTaylor heading into the left sand pit after saving. If it turns out there's nothing important here, I imagine we will see a reset. Dropping a power bomb, making it easy to see the 2 items. Ooh, there's power bombs and E-tanks. I mean, I wouldn't say no to an E-Tank, but not if it's going to waste me that kind of time.
That's an easy decision reset right there.
Alright, SuperNinTaylor loading it up once again. Probably going to go check the right sand pit. And... oh? Looks like he's heading for Bod Woon here.
Probably saved that for the way out. But no, wait, does not have the... did not pick up Ice Beam to do the clip.
I was going to say, looks like he must have some way of getting through here I'm not aware of. Because last I checked, you needed Ice Beam or Speed Booster, and only Speed Booster is in Logic. Alright, right side sand pit. We've got a big 20 and a missile, and SuperNinTaylor, ladies and gentlemen, unless I'm mistaken, looks to be making the Shaq Tool play.
So if Andy decides to skip the west side of Swamp, you know, a lot of runners tend to like to do that because there's only about one or two items there, possibly.
Yeah. So this is basically the Hera basement of Super Metroid. You can just kind of sit here and get yourself a drink, wait for Shaq Tool to do his thing. Oh, just 50 rupees at Shaq Tool. So...
it's gonna be backing out in order to go right to wreck ship.
And a nice Alcatraz-ish jump to get out of there. It's not quite the same, but it's close. And Andy, of course, will be skipping the left side of Swamp for now. And you ask who's in the lead, I'm not exactly sure. It's all down to, you know, who finds the important items, and you know, SuperNinTaylor is missing a few, specifically the cane, but neither player has the fire rod. It is, yeah, Seed Generator is winning. I think that's correct. Screw Attack in the back of Swamp. Convenience item, not required for anything else, but I wouldn't say.
No, actually, that'll be nice for lower Norfair clearing.
Oh, I said no one has the fire rod. Apparently, it's in the back of Swamp. I missed it for like 2 seconds.
That's what you get for saying it. You just make the item appear. So, flute. Right. Flute and Artisan?
No one has the flute.
Nope, just packing some missiles.
I mean, pedestal flute is a thing.
Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty logical location almost, really, with what we've found so far. There's not a ton of places for it to be, except for maybe the back of Skull Woods, the front. It could be in Turtle Rock, even, actually. Andy going for the Turtle Rock play, I'm betting. Can full clear it? Why not?
Oh yeah, definitely going for the Turtle Rock play after picking up that fire rod.
Yeah, usually when like, oh, you're gonna knock out Harrowell up there too.
Andy thought about left side swamp. Yeah, that's true. He thought for about 2 seconds. I mean, the flute's not going to be physically required for sure, because SuperNinTaylor kind of sequence broke around it.
And
But
Andy's definitely got the skill to do that as well.
But I wouldn't be surprised to see Andy find the flute first, because, you know, with the way Andy's been playing, he seems to want to stay in logic.
Yeah, Turtle Rock's pretty loaded. Got Mimic Cave attached to it.
So we find a piece of heart and a big key so far in Tower of Hera. SuperNinTaylor finally going for the gauntlet.
He already knows that. Yeah, already knows that he checked the back, but we'll see if decides to go all the way for X-ray or not.
Or Cane of Burna. Because he doesn't have the cape yet, so he might think I need it for Spike Cave or something.
Yeah, Andy did not check Spike Cave, did he?
Now if I were Andy, Spike Cave would be on my list after Turtle Rock.
Fair enough. Yeah, you could just save and quit after you check it, so. And Andy does have hammer. Just use it to kill Moldorm there.
So it does look like SuperNinTaylor is going to go on and pick up the items in the back of the gauntlet.
And I love the call out for the Hera big chest boots for Andy. That would be a great throwback. So as we ramp up here, or, you know, kind of taking it easy, trying to find kind of really our next piece of progression, the big callouts are, you know, our runners have taken two entirely different routes, and it may seem like Andy's in a pretty big lead with the amount of items he has, but depending on what SuperNinTaylor is able to find, might be able to route those in pretty efficiently, pretty quickly.
Yeah, the only downside here is that SuperNinTaylor is definitely going to have to dip into swamp to get the fire rod. We know that for sure.
And that's a decision that's going to be tough to make.
And in order to do that, he has to dip the back of Thieves Town to get the mirror. And he also needs to get the hammer from the pyramid. So Zelda's progression is not particularly forthcoming.
Yeah, whereas Andy, when he gets to Super Metroid, might be able to just go mode most of it.
Alright, big key in the first chest of Turtle Rock. Yeah, no one's checked Agina's cave. SuperNinTaylor can actually get to Desert if he wants. He just hasn't.
Yeah, it's out of logic, so.
Yeah, SuperNinTaylor has
on
the
hold.
book and can get into desert. I don't believe this version of the randomizer has the bug where tablets don't have progression.
There's our last sword, so we know where all 4 swords are. Don't think we'll be seeing the butter sword on Andy, though. Be interested if he checks the prison, is all the prison or not. So we got tempered.
Yeah, eventually SuperNinTaylor will pick up some additional swords.
And
So you got Waterfall Cave, Pod, Dark Maze, Zelda's Cell, and Turtle Rock right side. Those are our swords.
Kind of all over the place.
I've had this explained to me once. I think the probability of boots being required for desert is exactly 1/2.
I mean, GT could also be boots locked, so...
And SuperNinTaylor getting the X-Ray Fantoon. Get wrecked. Alright, so next order of business, SuperNinTaylor going to clear out the rest of the wrecked ship. He's going to get a good old-fashioned cape over here. And then he'll pick up the Titan's mitts finally once he gets to the gravity suit location. Alright, big chest of Turtle Rock missiles. SuperNinTaylor going for Spiky Death Room. This should be a pretty quick check. Quake inside Turtle Rock. Only in Randomizer, folks.
I'm doing darkroom navigation, and SuperNinTaylor probably going to just do the reset after finding out that this check is not going to be fruitful.
Yep, and the reset is done. As Andy heads over to Laser Bridge. 4 chests on the Laser Bridge.
One's a key, and 2 of them still has to find the map and compass, so only 2 items left in the dungeon overall.
Andy doing some nice bootless laser skips here.
It does have cape, so could make it easier.
So I found out the hard way the other day that you can soft lock your game in this room pretty easily. Or, no, hard lock your game in this room. And that's going to do it for Laser Bridge. Looks like Trinex will have the compass. And Turtle Rock is turning out to be pretty devoid of anything.
but try next is going to be pretty much no issue for Andy with half magic and, you know, tempered sword. Pretty quick kill.
Yeah, tempered Trinex. No problem there. As we don't have the boots, we won't be seeing the back strats here. And the back strats don't really actually improve the fight when you're on tempered sword. So the way you hardlock your game in the laser bridge room is you fall down and die, and then get hit by a laser while you're falling, thanks to Japanese 1.0. Then your game just stops responding to inputs. All right, Andy, finishing out Turtle Rock. I imagine a Skull Woods play will be next.
Skull Woods into a possible pedestal pull.
There is that. And also, if we don't find the flute, say there or in other necessary locations, it could be at the Pyramid Ferry once we get the Skull Woods check taken care of. Oh yeah, we are... I am being reminded by the chat here that the Spike Cave was not checked.
So looking for the back of Skull Woods here. Gonna have no issue clearing it out with the half magic, honestly. You can just kind of spam the fire rod. Hearts can kill Mothtail pretty easily, even with all the invul on the spikes.
All right, Andy heading into the back of Skull Woods.
Choosing to skip the early chest. Don't... Yeah, I think that's a 50% chance of being an item right now.
And there is our Titan's Mitt for SuperNinTaylor. And that is SuperNinTaylor's first Dark World access. Alright, a compass on Moth, but that is another crystal for Andy. SuperNinTaylor now checking the top of Red Tower here. Beta and Alpha power bombs. And get some more. He'll get a bottle and some power bombs here. Andy gonna go check the chest here in the back now.
Yeah, just mirror right out. Probably getting that ped pulled, so... Oh no!
I mean, I think we do check the pedestal here just because we're here.
Oh yeah. And gonna get a pedestal check into a big chest check in Skull Woods. Alright everyone, raise your hands for the energy of this sword. See what this baby pulls.
Oh, it's the flute! Are you kidding me right now?
Wow! It's a pet seed!
Wow, the
Logically, the
logic
pet seed.
is expecting the flute pedestal there, and Andy is going straight for it.
Oh, wow. And he's going to be able to go mode most of Super Metroid at this point, which is a huge advantage. I believe he has got full clear ability of the rest of, except for Boots potentially, of the rest of Zelda, at least with what we know he has access to.
And let's everybody say hi to everyone's favorite swag duck. Ah, yeah, SuperNinTaylor hasn't checked the X-ray location, so that's where he's heading now. We'll find another bottle over here. Has anyone checked Sick Kid yet?
I don't think so. I believe it was just, if we did, I believe it was just some arrows or something, arrow upgrade.
Okay, SuperNinTaylor checked it, apparently. And so did Andy.
They were super missiles.
Alright, so Andy finds his way into Misery Mire. And I'm pretty sure that that's it that we need for items, minus potentially the boots. And you know, I wouldn't be surprised to see Andy go ahead and mirror the desert here just to see if boots are required.
Yep, and there we go. It's always nice using that back entrance too, because you can mirror right back to it when you're if you get the small key.
Andy wants nothing to do with that reserve tank on the desert ledge. And time to go see what's on the torch. It's
Not
an energy
boots.
tank. We are go for bootless desert here.
Still potentially Ganon's Tower though. So
There is that 1 in 22 chance of desert or the boots being required for Ganon's Tower. So Andy is in, you know, well, he doesn't know where Gravity Suit is, but once he finds it, he'll be in 95.4% go mode.
yeah, high percentage chance at go mode there for Andy.
Oh, there's SuperNinTaylor checking Sick Kid. Alright, so SuperNinTaylor, I wonder if he's going to use the book here and go check pedestal. Well,
I mean,
no,
the question
he's going to
there
Dark
is-
World.
Yeah, probably a good, decent play, but the big question is Flute really isn't required for him to clear his seed.
Yeah, he will not.
access.
He will not need it. No, but he might go ahead and check it because it could be the fire rod for him, at least in his mind, and he might want to know: do I need to just go mode these dungeons, or do I have to clear them out?
Yeah, it's gonna at least need to do Swamp for the Fire Rod. We know that much.
Yep, and in order to do Swamp, he's got to go into Thieves Town to get the mirror. I think the best scenario for SuperNinTaylor, if he wants, if he's going to come back from this, is like Boots and Spike Cave, and Big Key on against our torch.
Yeah, but that's a pretty quick check out of.
Yeah, because after you go to GT, you just go there. Yeah, so.
So Andy able to fully clear Meyer. Going to check the checkerboard cave here. We did not get that check earlier, so this will be some new information. Yeah, just some supers, but Andy is siding, yep, does not have charge. So gonna want to pick up a little extra ammo for that safety, thinking probably I can kill Ridley pretty soon here. But we know charge is in Meyer, so if Andy decides to do Meyer first, we'll pick up that charge and we'll pick up the book of Medora, but the book's not going to unlock much, but the charge beam will be real nice for convenience, but deciding for that lower Norfair play first.
Interesting. I'm not sure why you wouldn't do Meyer first. I guess you have the flute, so you can get back here anytime you want. That makes sense.
Might be just doing a quick GT check.
That's going to be a pretty good check.
Look at that, 50 super missiles on Andy. That's a nice ammo count.
Yeah, he's got plenty.
Ooh, little far back though for the super missile tosses. That should be a good spot. And it's going to see the mushroom on the other side. We'll see if he decides to pick it up.
I doubt it.
The mushroom being much that we would actually need at this point, unless that is boots. Yeah, and boots are needed.
There is that. But yeah, gravity suit is basically all Andy needs here.
Yep. So he's going to check out.
And maybe some more ammo or charge beam. And so if Andy clears out Misery Mire, he'll find charge beam and will be in actual go mode, except for maybe the boot.
What would we call that? Bootless mode at this point?
I don't know. But there's SuperNinTaylor picking up that single arrow in the ground. Slow mode is a good name, but there we go. All right, SuperNinTaylor turning in the blacksmith, again without the mirror. But that is going to do him some good. The Cane of Samaria is his friend. And Andy is going to Vitreous.
Yeah, not going to do the... probably not going to get a charge beam, given the route.
He's going to miss out on charge beam, which means he's going to have to watch his ammo count regarding Mother Brain. I think he's got 45 supers.
Yeah, and the Red Rippers are making...
No, 50 supers.
Yeah, but the Red Rippers make it easy to farm right next to G.
Yeah, and then I guess you might need, what is it, like 60 missiles on top of that? No, 30 missiles. Yeah, forgot.
There's 30 supers, I believe, to kill Ridley.
Ridley, he's fine. I'm talking about Mother Brain.
Ah, yes.
So you'd need 50 supers and 30 normal missiles. If you don't have charge.
So SuperNinTaylor doing the Thieves Town dive. Not going to find much except in here, except for the mirror up top. And silver arrows against Vitreous here, just really nice and clean. And he's done this hundreds of times, thousands of times probably.
Silver Arrow Vidi is just a beating. It's basically not even fair. Oh, well, there was the map for Thieves Town, so yeah, there's definitely an item in the big chest. Luckily, we know it's not that important. Unless it's the boots! Of course, SuperNinTaylor doesn't have the hammer, so that'll be the same situation. Alright, Andy now will be heading through Lower Norfair. He's kind of low on... Oh, never mind.
Yeah, 20 power bombs gonna be able to farm this room a little bit.
I was looking at his E-Tank situation. For a second there, it looked like he only had 4, but...
Yeah, and he's well equipped for this too. With screw attack, he's gonna be able to clear out, no problem. Won't have any dangers, honestly. See what he farms up to. Maybe just like a little above 30. Doubt he'll go for all.
Yeah, so because Andy stayed in Logic, he was driven to go to the Pendant Dungeons where he got all of his extra progression. There's the mirror for SuperNinTaylor to grant him access to Swamp, which of course will grant him access to the Fire Rod.
So didn't clear out Misery Mire, but Andy's gonna opt to go check the mini mouse room here, and that's kind of a strange decision. Maybe just thinking to see if it's anything, possibly another upgrade for a piece.
Well, I mean, clearing out the rest of Misery Mire is such a pain. There's
True.
a lot of... It's a lot of work, while as checking that one item location is really not that bad.
I mean, also with what Andy has, he doesn't have to go right into the front of Meridia. I mean, after he's done with Ridley, I definitely see it happening where he just goes right to the Ice Palace through Death Mountain Warp, Whistle Down, and comes out and uses Dark World to get to the back of Meridia, so you can just skip pretty much the entire area.
I mean, that seems like the play to me. Just do your best to get to an exit portal. So I guess you go to the business center and get out.
Yeah, kind of do these.
Or you could actually backtrack through the lava room. I've seen people do that.
Yeah, come out through Misery Mire.
Yeah.
Definitely feel like I've got definitely enough E-Tanks to do that, but may want to just see what some of those upper items are.
Yeah, so SuperNinTaylor went through Meridia, and he actually, on his way to Meridia, I saw him thinking about going to get Ice Beam, and he didn't do it. And then he tried to go to Dragon, and was like, "Oh wait, never mind." All right, Andy taking care of Ridley in what's looking like pretty short order. That's already about 16 or 17 hits. You only need 30.
And that should do it.
Alright, he's definitely got enough hits now. I think Andy will pick up these supers.
Yeah, not having charge, just again that little extra safety for about 1 second cost.
Because if I don't have charge, I really do want 60 plus supers for Mother Brain.
Looks like we're gonna get the mushroom check from SuperNinTaylor here.
Boots time? Maybe? Nice little speed ball from Andy there.
Just a big
300.
Gonna do the Zora check, but not the not have the flippers to do the cave.
That is unfortunate, as we know there is a sword in the cave.
Yeah, and unless he goes to Pod, he's not going to find another sword outside of Turtle Rock.
So Andy was thinking about checking the Spring Ball Maze item and decided, nah. He is going to check this one, though. He sees supers, he's like, yep, I'm going to take those. So now Andy has, I believe, a total of 60 super missiles. So if he doesn't miss on Mother Brain, he should be fine. $65, okay. I stand corrected. Pretty sure it's not that.
And yeah, Andy hasn't checked really any of Norfair, so he'll probably just skip out on all of this. Nothing important to be found, but definitely left a lot of efficiency in there for him.
Alright, so Andy sees a +5 bomb upgrade, and is going to peace out through Crocomire Escape. No, this is Frog Speedway. I'm dumb. And gets to good old-fashioned business center as quickly as possible, and we peace out back to Zelda. Both runners momentarily in the same area as SuperNinTaylor goes to check the Ether Tablet, just a missile. Vanilla Speed Booster was checked. SuperNinTaylor actually checked all of Bubble Mountain earlier. Ooh, yeah, we might see Stair Clip here in Ice Palace. Relatively new tech for the Ice Palace clear, saves of like 2 to 3 seconds.
I'm a little upset without Boot. Won't get that Andy hover, though. But, I mean, Go Mode Ice Palace is every runner's dream, honestly.
Looks like Andy is going to go ahead and check this item. You know, could get Charge Beam out of it.
Good to get Charge Beam, good to get Boots.
Yeah, Boots, of course. Yeah, Freezors does seem like a good check as well. SuperNinTaylor finishing off Tower of Hera, it looks like.
Yeah, Fighter Sword Troll Dorm. You're gonna see the enraged phase.
Yeah, it's not pretty. Andy doing the good old-fashioned bomb jump here. Looks pretty good from where I'm.
Very clean movement.
And a very
nice
clean
fork.
Trolldorm 1 fight as well for SuperNinTaylor. Gets the small key. And there we go. Alright, no stair clip from Andy, but still excellent movement there in the icy stair room. And Andy did just pick up the big key, so I imagine a check of the big chest would be in order. Just some missiles. As Andy heads to face off against Cold Stare.
I'm a little over-equipped for Cold Stare won't be much of an issue. Only unfortunate part is once you're done with the Ice Palace here, not an easy way to get to Dark World right nearby to get to back of Meridia, but gonna probably just save him or flute over to 4.
Yeah, flute to 4 seems like the play, or save and quit to Link's house. Either one is pretty good.
There's
More
a normal
ball of bombs.
I love a late bomb seed.
Well, that's why we got early space jump, apparently. That was an excellent Cold Stare fight. My goodness.
Looks like gonna choose just a full clear Zelda. Really don't see, there's no real issue with this, and we'll tell him if he needs to go hunting for boots in Super Metroid or not. So,
yeah,
really
I
nice
like
decision there.
I like that play. Ben Teasy making the
trolled.
Oh, Teasy in chat making the point that this Ganon's Tower clear would put you on the pyramid, which is basically as close as you would be to the Meridia portal anyway.
Yep, and can still kill Ganon right after.
That's why I have my song about the dead rock. It's called Everybody Wants to Kill Those Squirrels. You can just imagine how that one goes. Anyway. Andy now heading up to Ganon's Tower. While SuperNinTaylor appears to be heading to Final Missiles. And I'm not sure where he's going to head from there.
Yeah, it needs to get those flippers out of Skull Wood. It's putting that off because it doesn't have Fire Rod, so then you need that to access the east side of Dark World, and then from there he's should be able to find the hammer and start clearing those pendant dungeons that are needed for the full clear.
Yep. SuperNinTaylor needs to get to Swamp as quickly as he can, because that is going to be sort of the missing link in the puzzle. Alright, right-hand side for Andy. Very subtle movement tech there. Moving across without the boots, trying to get there as quickly as you can. No key on the right-hand side. So now it's time for the moment of truth. Do we have a big key? We do not. It is a missile. You know what? I forgot we do I forgot we do the big key game in the combo rando. Sorry about that.
Yep, that's on me too. Just totally spaced out with this final play. Will we at least get the tile room big key? Because that'll be a thing.
Nope. I was gonna say that could be it. Nope. We've got chest number 6 as the big key chest for Andy, and he is heading upstairs to finish this off. Andy's officially in go mode, and we'll be finishing it soon. There is the flippers for SuperNinTaylor, which will give him access to Swamp Palace, which is where his fire rod resides. So yeah, in the end, it was actually really the fact that Andy stayed in logic that kind of kept him in the lead here. Yes, the logic break got SuperNinTaylor the gravity suit, but it also led to SuperNinTaylor checking a whole lot of Super Metroid that didn't need to be checked, while Andy was able to visit all the pendant dungeons he needed to get all the things he needed.
Yeah, I mean, it's rare all dungeon seed, and really every dungeon had progression.
Oh yeah, that is true. SuperNinTaylor still needs to go to the pyramid and get the hammer. This is not turning out particularly well for SuperNinTaylor. I mean,
I don't
no
think
fault of his own. He hasn't played poorly, and he's made some very nice decisions. They just haven't worked out.
Yeah, I had an early issue with the control setup on Super Metroid, but really it's just, the logic break just kind of sent on a false journey there for a while.
I don't know if that initial thing sort of tilted him or not, but
yeah, hopefully it didn't change his decision making, because that would be unfortunate.
I do kind of want to know exactly what happened there. It looked like there was just a mix-up with the controls, but I couldn't tell. Alright, so Andy now heading up Ganon's Tower, has finished with the gauntlet, heading through some of my favorite rooms in the game with the whole Samaria block, Wizrobe kills, feels good. And Andy now heading through the second torch room. I don't imagine he'll have any designs on checking the remaining chests in this dungeon, as this is straight up go mode. SuperNinTaylor picking up turning in the purple chest.
So that troll dorm right there. Fun fact, apparently you can unlock which quadrant you're in and soft lock the game.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, did that with the festive randomizer. Not a fun time. Despawned everything in the dungeon.
Oh, did you go up the stairs when the torch went out? Because that's what causes that.
No. Spin attack on Moldorm in the center of the room. From the center of the room, because, yep, it kind of dislodges it.
That's fun. Alright, so SuperNinTaylor checking Agina's cave this late in the seed, just finding a heart container. Andy, of course, with 3 hits so far on Aga 2, and there's up to 5.
Yep, one more. That should do it.
Done. And, you know, the Ganon fight will probably be next, and then he'll leave from Ganon to go to Meridia. Or leave after finishing Ganon, I think. And it's Ganon time. We'll see a couple slashes, then sort of a spin here off of the trident, and that's the whole phase 1 right there. On to the second cycle. Nice one cycle phase 1. Using that blue potion he picked up.
Yeah, even though I'm sure you could clear it with just one heart, no use in risking it. Just let yourself be able to tank that damage.
And just a few hits here and there for phase 3, and we'll be on to some silver arrow shots.
Oh, just missed the triple.
Tempted triple there, but
So single G so far for Andy in chat. It's got to finish not one but both games here, so gonna make that way to Mother Brain. I got to kill off Dragon first though.
all right. Andy now heading to the southeast corner of Dark World, which will allow him to access the portal that is right near Dragon for the final Super Metroid boss kill. I mean, other than Mother Brain herself. And a nice speed boost through that area as Andy heads into the... Oh, I am spacing on the name of this room. And Andy is spacing through it, so there we go.
Just space jump right through to victory.
Coliseum. I thought it was Coliseum. I just thought, no, that can't be right. I'm dumb. All right, we're good. All right, so Andy is setting up for... So we can do some Shine Spark damage to Dragon, or we can do the good old-fashioned electrocution strats here with the grapple beam.
Did we get a mixture?
It looks like the Shine Spark strats win the day here. Really, the setup on that grapple beam was just, in case he got caught by one of those webs, backup strat.
Yeah, and the best part is like, you may think that, oh, he's got a long journey back to get back, to the criteria, but really just got to exit right back to Link to the Past, do save and quit, and reset the game, and you'll start right at the ship in Super Metroid on a hard reset. So pretty easy pathing.
As long as you save your progress in Zelda, you should be able to revisit. In fact, I think if you just transfer, because it saves progress automatically when you transfer. So just go to Zelda, reset, and you should be on the ship with all of your progress intact.
Some people like take the extra second to save and quit though, because you want to make sure.
Just in case, yeah. That way you know the memory is set the way you want it. SuperNinTaylor picks up a sword, finally, in the waterfall cave.
I wonder if they're going to actually go do Aga, to thinking that, oh, there's my 2 swords, I have a lamp, I had cape already.
I mean, I doubt they do that. I bet they probably go. Oh, he's going to Ice Rod Cave. Remember, he died.
Yep. Oh, deciding against it. Can't access Ice Palace. Yep.
He's like, wait a minute. All right, Andy heading now through to the final rush toward Mother Brain. In Turian words. Time to face off against the good old-fashioned Metroids. Ice and missiles are their particular weaknesses, though power bombs will do if you have neither. Or particularly if you're missing ice. Oh, this is beautiful.
Yeah, so far, just pretty clean by Andy. Oh, almost had it.
And picking up the triple in the final Metroid room.
And for those of you just joining, this is Super Metroid Link to the Past crossover randomizer. Winter tournament. We're in the bracket stage, and this is round 1. Best of 3 with Andy with a 1-0 lead currently. And nearing the end of this match. This race right here, big decision maker actually was not an item being found, but actually just a sequence break by SuperNinTaylor early that kind of led him a little astray on where to go and what to check next. And Andy decided to stick with logic hard and gambled on pendant dungeons and paid off massively with the flute being on the pedestal. That would be what brings SuperNinTaylor and logic, however, required a lot of items in progress to get to finding that flute, so...
Andy losing 2/3 of a second by facing left there.
How dare he?
What are you going to do? Yeah, no interest in trying the baby skip there because it is exceedingly difficult without the high jump boots, which Andy never picked up. Alright, Andy finding himself with exactly 60 super missiles. And we'll see if he can pull off the Zepatite skip here. Oh, he's doing the Shine Spark version.
Very clean. First attempt. Gonna stick with using missiles to break Mother Brain out of her glass. We'll see if he tries to do stand-up. I doubt it. I mean, it's possible without high jump, but it's really difficult.
Yeah, there's not really a point to it.
Oh yeah, no charge, that's right. Yeah.
I mean, it'd be fun, but there's not a point.
True. Yeah, no charge, so...
Alright, so far, no misses. He does have plenty of backup.
Finding that hammer.
The hammer just being awful mean to SuperNinTaylor today. And
yeah, that was a pretty mean location, too, because not often do you think logically, oh, I have access to left side Dark World, but I don't have access to anything on the east without flippers to swim over in order to find my hammer.
There we go. Andy gets himself under 400 health to start this final phase. Andy can take a little bit of a break as the baby cutscene begins to play. Yeah, did not miss a single super missile and had exactly enough to beat Mother Brain. And SuperNinTaylor is going to go ahead and take... oh my goodness. SuperNinTaylor took the
mirror too early.
Mirrored in front of Pod before he was able to open Pod. I mean, maybe he intended not to go to Pod instead. Maybe he decided to go to Swamp. No. I don't know what was going on there. Maybe you just accidentally hit Y. I don't even know why you'd want a mirror here.
And let's get the Bible thumps or baby thumps in chat.
And down, and the Metroid explodes, but revives you in the process with, of course, a glorious, glorious beam of shiny death to take down Mother Brain with. Good old 36 hits, and that'll do it. All right, Andy now finishing off Mother Brain, and time to head out of the escape sequence. Looking like it might be just a little over 2.5 here.
There's still a good chance of coming under.
It's possible. I'm estimating based on my skill, not his, so...
Yeah, I mean, he's got the Shine Spark.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, no!
Oh.
Might have just thrown it away. The 230. I'll be honest, I missed that Shine Spark up a lot too. It's just, for some reason, my brain just doesn't have that timing down.
Well, it's
still a chance. Here we go. Oh, Behemoth Spark!
Nice. Nicely done. 20 seconds before the sub 30 expires.
Doesn't have the high jump, let's see. Oh no!
Just a little bit.
Just under
230.01.
And GG for second G for Andy. Well done.
There we go. Andy finishing with an official time of 2 hours, 30 minutes, and 3 seconds. Well played to Andy. And it does look like... I don't have the official timestamps on this, but it does look like SuperNinTaylor went ahead and forfeited the race here as well.
GG to all. Really, I can understand that was pretty frustrating for SuperNinTaylor, but quite unfortunate. But I mean, it's really nice early play. Early gravity kind of just started down a weird path, but well played in general. Good execution.
Absolutely. So, well done for Andy and SuperNinTaylor. We will see if they can join us here in chat for an interview. And it looks like we are joined by Andy and SuperNinTaylor. Hello, everybody, and welcome. Congratulations on this run, even though it didn't go quite as well as you might have wanted for SuperNinTaylor, but congratulations, Andy, on this excellent.
Yeah, this was definitely an interesting seed, logic-wise.
Yeah, so from what we could tell, this is not official or anything, but from what we could tell, it was really, Andy, your decision to kind of stay in logic and not break that actually led to your victory here. Mainly because, it led you into those pendant dungeons where all of that progression was, and of course the flute at the end. Whereas SuperNinTaylor actually did the lava dive and got the gravity suit early, which led him to clear out basically all of Super Metroid before checking the rest of it.
Yeah, I mean, for a while I had just Upper North, like Bowl Mountain area and Crocomire with Wave and Varia and Space Jump, I guess, or Wreck Ship. So I decided to do Wreck Ship, just get the boss out of the way. And then with Mitts, that was dependent dungeons or do Upper North area and Croc. So, yeah, I don't know.
What did you think about that hammer location being behind Flippers on the east side Dark World there?
Well, so I got Mirror in Thieves Town, and so I was like, all right, well, that opens up, at least going into Swamp, and I can do Palace of Darkness, I have the Flippers, I have a whole bunch of stuff I can check over there. And I got the hammer, and I'm like, well, that opens up pedestals, I might as well just go into Swamp. All this stuff is super high item density. And then Flute was on pedestal. So, I mean, if something good was in Upper North Fair and Crocmire area, this race probably would have gone the other way.
Yeah, absolutely. There were quite a few things. The charge beam actually was in Misery Mire. It was in the cutscene room. So
nice.
When you were looking for that, there at the end, I'm sure.
I probably would have gotten that if I didn't dip GT first. I don't know what's better to do in that situation, but I also never found high jump boots.
Yeah, those were Crocomire Escape.
Oh, yeah, I forgot to check that. Oh my god.
And so, yeah, so you didn't check that, and SuperNinTaylor did, so he knew it was there, so he picked that up, and that let him do the lava dive. So, just like,
yeah, when I first went into Super Metroid, I was just thinking high jump boots area, ice beam area, Kraid, up Red Tower, and then just clearing out the whole Brinstar.
How about that ice beam placement, right? That was surely a thing. SuperNinTaylor is in the chat. I don't know if you know this, but your microphone is muted if you're trying to respond.
There we go. I see. Okay, it's actually muted.
Yeah. Okay. I was wondering if you were just waiting on the Andy portion of the interview, or if you were just.
No, I said a few things, but I just. I don't know.
I'm not ignoring you. I promise.
Yeah.
So I do have to ask you, SuperNinTaylor, what exactly happened there at the beginning?
Oh, I have no idea what happened. Like, my jump button just wasn't working. My A button did nothing, so I don't know if I accidentally mapped it to something else, but I tried all the buttons. I don't know. Can you map 2 buttons to the same thing? Because
I don't
I press
believe
all
so.
the buttons. Unless, like, I put start or select as my A button at the start. I don't know. Just my jump button literally didn't work. So yeah, I wasted 2.5 minutes trying to figure out what was going on and had to start again. So that was kind of awkward.
Yeah, I mean,
thought it was like a
least...
controller at first, so I actually grabbed another controller and plugged it in, and it still wasn't working. I was like, I must have mapped something wrong.
Yeah, you restarted and it started working again, so that was fine. Yeah, I was concerned at the beginning. I was like, something break, or are we okay?
I was concerned too. But yeah, I'm glad it was.
I loved your play of going to Lower Norfair there, and it was an excellent play. You got the gravity suit out of it, and I was like, this is this what opened up the race right again, and then just everything from there on out was just like, nope, pendant dungeons.
Yep. Such a weird seed. Like, I found that gravity, I was like, okay, so the only way I could get down here is through the mire area, so that means I need somewhere sitting around is nits and flute. I was like, where the heck are these things?
The reverse engineer after that seemed to be just kind of the name of the...
Yeah. And what did I... Oh yeah, I remember getting the grapple. I was like, I guess Rex ship is open, so I checked Rex ship after a while, and it had the nits. I was like, okay, so maybe the flute's somewhere in Link to the Past.
Yeah, it sure was.
Yeah, Andy told me where it was. That's kind of unfortunate.
It's basically gross.
Yeah. That's 2 seeds in a row where hammer was one of my last items.
Yeah, the hammer being there on the pyramid, it wasn't ever going to be convenient to go get. There's no way.
No,
of course, with the flippers in Skull Woods, having to go in there to get those first. And it also makes you go into Thieves Town probably without the hammer, which I guess in this case was good for you because you got the mirror. But then, of course, you still needed to go into Swamp to get the fire rod, which was...
Yeah.
That's the technical term for it.
Yeah, I seem to struggle with late hammer seeds. Like, any late hammer seed that I can remember playing, I've always, like, got destroyed by it. I don't know. I'm just not really good at routing without the hammer.
And I am, of course, still perplexed as to the location of the Pegasus boots. No idea where those are. My guess would be somewhere in GT.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because Big Key was super early. Like, DM room. So there's still 15 or so things in the basement of GT.
Yep. That was the point, of course, where we were, the chat was, of course, on edge, hoping for that 1 out of 22 chance that the boots were going to be required, but no.
That still gives me nightmares, so I let out a huge sigh of relief once it was just a missile.
Yep, feels good. And of course, the desert not requiring that either. Oh, speaking of desert, the other way to access desert was in Mire as well. The 2 items were the book and the charge beam.
Yeah, I thought that was the play for a while when I dipped into Mire and I found the book. I was like, I don't know, could this really be the way to get into desert? I was kind of hoping, but no.
Unfortunately, no. And of course, the both of you went and got the Smiths without the mirror, which is not a situation you want to be in, but basically, I mean, you either had to go into the back of Thieves Town, probably without the hammer, to make that convenient, or you're just going to do that, and of course the cane is there, so... Yeah, Andy picked up the cane right when you were clearing out Mire, and we were like, well...
Nice.
It was really interesting that 2 seeds in a row. We got, like, Mit's hammerless Dark World access, and then Shovel was like in the South Dark World loop. Because I don't think I've ever done that before, with like picking up Smith early and then going to the house and just doing Shuffle into the Smith. It was really weird.
The Shovel, we don't even need to talk about that. That was a massive debate.
It was a lovely item, I guess.
I was really hoping for Hammer 2 days in a row, but
Yeah. Hammer would have been nice.
Well, Andy, that means once again you're going to advance to the semifinals of this tournament. I hope you're ready for that.
that's
looks
gonna
like
be it's gonna be tough.
you and Solsky, right?
Yeah, that's Solsky and I raced at HDQ, and I won by like 4 minutes or something. Probably less because there was a power outage in the middle, and I lost 0 time, and Solsky lost like a minute and a half to the power outage or something. So it'll be a real good set.
That is a close race. I am looking forward to that. And of course, SuperNinTaylor, congratulations, of course, on making it this far.
Yeah.
This has been an excellent tournament, and I wish you the best of luck in your future endeavors.
Yeah, top 8's pretty good. Can't complain about that.
All right. So, anything else you guys would like to say before we wrap things up here today?
Not really, but GG, Andy, and good luck on the rest of the tournament.
Thank you.
All right. So, once again, I'd like to thank both of our runners, SuperNinTaylor and Andy, for putting on an excellent show today. I would like to thank our tracker, HCF Wesker, also a top 8 participant in this tournament, for keeping up with the items on the screen. And of course, my co-commentator, Sinosis, thank you so much for joining me today.
Glad to be here.
And if you enjoyed what you saw here today, the best way to help those out involved is to give them a follow here on Twitch, and I'm sure everybody else here would appreciate that. So, once again, we've got one more match today coming up between Hitaka and Streiser, going for Game 3 of possible 4 after a tie in Game 1 or 2. It was one of those 2 games. So, that'll be fun. That's going to be at 7:30 Eastern tonight, and make sure to tune into that. That'll be on Speed Gaming 3. And there's also plenty of other speed gaming action here on Speed Gaming Network, so I'm sure if that's not what you're looking for, there's plenty more that you can watch on the other channels here. All right, so with that, I will just say that I have been Dr. Bobtastic.
I've been Snows Cunts.
And we will see you later. Bye, everybody.
Have a good one, all.